Hey guys, Blake here. So today I wanted to go over a couple things that really helped me on my hiking trip. It was my first one that I took about 2 months ago. I have never done hiking before as I came from Nebraska and it's really flat there, so there's nothing to really hike anyway. But here in Sweden and Iceland and Norway, there are lots of places to hike. So I have really gotten into hiking and enjoying nature. And so I wanted to go over with you a couple things that I have packed in my hiking backpack the first time and how I have since modified it and things I want to add for the future that I just haven't purchased yet. I also wanted to go over with you a couple hiking tips that really helped me, especially on my first hike, as I was unprepared and was not expecting to be completely exhausted. Okay, so the first thing I got here is, of course, my hiker backpack. It's just an intro level backpack, so it's pretty simple. It has on the front here, it has your two zippers that would hold small things like papers or folders or whatnot. On the side here, it has your compartment for a 17-inch laptop. It's nice and padded on the inside, and it's Velcroed so your laptop won't fall out if you leave the zipper open. It has one zipper up here, so you can put more small things like pencils or flashlights or whatnot in there. It has a mesh spot for your water bottle. It has two very small little zippers on the very bottom here. On the bottom of the backpack, it does does clip, so you can see you can fasten in it to the bottom of like your waist and stuff. So the pressure of carrying the backpack, so it all isn't on your shoulders. So it really helps distribute the weight evenly in that way. It also This backpack also has a feature where it can turn into a carry-on. So this piece right here, if you unvelcro it, it can roll down and it will cover the little backpack shoulder straps, and then you can zip it up so it can be a carry-on, and you can just hold it with the handle right here. So there is that. That was super helpful. Next thing I have is a water bottle right here, of course, and that fit in the mesh, and it's just really helpful, especially when you need water on your hike, and so you don't get dehydrated and you can continue on. Next thing that was really helpful is this pair of these are for your glasses, and they're just like little strings to put on the ends. So if like the wind got super strong or something, and it would blow the glasses off your face, well, then these would be your safety net, and these would, if you put them on right, they will secure your glasses and keep them from falling off your face. So that's I made the mistake before of when I was walking. I somehow my glasses fell off. I lost my glasses, but anyway, that was a $250 mistake right there. And if I just had these, it would have saved them. So that's why I got those. Then of course I just have like a little pair of chapstick or stick of chapstick that I put in there. Let's see. I had a first aid kit, just a little one. This one just has some bandages in it, antibiotic wipes, a tweezer, carry case, of course, cotton tipped applicators. So, but anyway, this is very helpful because if you're going on a hike, I mean, odds are you won't have help that you can get immediately if you get hurt or something. So first aid kit's a really good idea. A good safety net. Let's see. I had a little camera case that I fastened with a battery pack. So if my cell phone ran out of battery or juice, I could just hook it up to the battery pack and I could charge my cell phone. And this is a really good one, actually. So I'll link all this stuff in the description below. But like this one right here, this lasts for a long time, so I can get a good 3 full charges out of it. I of course brought a bunch of flashlights. So I mean, I didn't use them on my first hike, but it's a good idea in case it does get dark or something, or if you do get injured and can't continue on, then you can stay the night freely and you don't have to worry about losing your way in the dark. Aside from that, I had a pair of gloves, and these are pretty solid gloves. So it's like we were hiking Glimmer Waterfall in Iceland, and it was a really steep hill, but it really helped to have these gloves on, and then you didn't have to worry about scratching or messing up your hands if you needed to brace on rocks or something. So these are a nice material, but they definitely helped. I have my coat here, of course. That really helped. And then I had this headband, just to put over the keep your ears warm, and that really helps during the hike because one of the places where you lose the most body heat is through your head. So if you have your head covered in some way, you'll feel a lot warmer. It's a tip I've learned. So since then, I have added 2 things to my backpack. I have added sunscreen, and then I have added a lighter. So about 1 weekend ago, I had a outdoor survival class, and after that, I watched Castaway, where this guy gets lost on an island and has to survive for 5 years by himself. So I figured that a lighter would be very helpful to have, so I could start a fire. I tried starting a fire by scratch during the outdoor survival course I had last weekend, and it was very hard. so so I might get one of those, but I just want to also have a lighter for some easy way to start a fire. In the future, I want to get rope. So if I need to make a shelter or secure anything like that, then I will have rope. Going with that, I want to pack like a knife or a pair of scissors or something in my backpack. So I also have that to cut the rope. Then I also want to put something like a tarp, a very small tarp in my backpack. So if I need to make a shelter or something, then I'll have as long as I have the rope and I have branches and stuff I can use, then I can make my own shelter. And I think that's pretty much it. All that I can think of right now. Oh, one more thing that I do want to add in the future to my backpack is a compass. That will come much in handy. Like right now I have Google Maps on my phone, which serves just fine as my compass. I'd actually prefer that. It's a little more accurate. Go check out my last video on compasses if you don't understand that. But so if my phone died though, and I didn't have my power charger with me, or for some reason it wasn't working or something, then a compass would be the next best solution. So as I mentioned before, on my first hiking trip, I was having some troubles and difficulties. I wasn't quite expecting. Um, this was a glimmer that I hiked, was a pretty steep incline, and you had to climb rocks, and it was pretty unstable and stuff. And so I just wasn't ready for that. So, but as I was struggling, I was lucky enough to have the company of a friend who gave me a couple hiking tips. And so, for example, I had my coat on and I was sweating so much because I was, of course, working so hard and stuff. And I took my coat off to cool off. And in Iceland, of course, it's very cold. So, but he told me that was a very bad idea because all that sweat would freeze, and that would therefore cause my muscles to weaken and get cold, start shivering, and my muscles would shut down, and it would be very difficult and near impossible to finish the hike. So he also told me that when I am hiking, I should always go at my own pace, a nice steady pace, so I won't exhaust myself. So if I keep at a nice pace, then that will basically keep my momentum and agility at the same rate, so I can kind of be recovering at the same time when I am making progress and going to my destination. So that tip has really helped. Um, just as long as I go at my own speed, I have been just fine on my following hikes. Since my first hike, I have probably done about 5 or 6 more hikes, and they have all been just fine since then. So I haven't not had really any trouble. And that actually brings up a point that one of my hikes since then, I did actually have trouble on it. It was mostly due to it was really steep. It was a lot bigger or more steep than my first hike. I think this was 400 meters tall. So it was very steep, very unstable. It was very muddy at the time, and I am afraid of heights. So, like before I started the hike, I was very nervous and I didn't want to go up. But I actually said to myself that, I've read that if you do not do anything that doesn't scare you or doesn't challenge yourself, then, well, the outcome of challenging and finishing it yourself is very good. So I went ahead and challenged myself, even though I was so scared to go up that mountain. I challenged myself to do it. I got to the top, and I was rewarded with just a bliss, that an accomplishment that I had done this and I had got myself to go to the top of this mountain. And it was 400 meters, so obviously it was beautiful at the top. You could see for miles and miles and miles, or kilometers. I'm from the US, so I'm still kind of thinking imperial system. So obviously I would need to pack a bit more stuff if I was doing more than just a one-day hike, but this is pretty much all I have needed for the one-day hike, aside from a couple food supplies like granola bars or nuts or whatnot. But the overall conclusion is, if you pack adequately and pack everything you need, and then if you throw in the extra kind of bonus of doing something that challenges yourself, it's really rewarding to do hikes. And I hope this video helped, and I hope you guys enjoy hiking and have your first hike.